fine day for some fine wares. Crackling the
Fine day for some fine wares. Come and take...
We've got enough to go around. Onions, play garlic, and more.
Here they are. The best fabric.
Greetings.
Surely you can... Here you are. No more than I'd expect of... And you?
You must be frantic.
I am.
I'm Henry.
I am.
But the thing is, that job is just my thing. And a fella could easily
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine. Why would you want to...
Let me put it another...
Finally, when I count it, not to mention the coin...
All right, here you are.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council. Look here. Do you have any idea what...
Of course.
All right, or show the confirmation to the head butler.
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's liver. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit. The main thing is...
Thanks. I won't disgrace.
You better not.
For sale. Try well-made pots.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He crippled his leg. He can't even stand up. Never mind serve guests.
Is it serious? That's all we need.
No, it won't come to that. It just looks like a twisted ankle.
We can't be without a waiter. So, have you got Franta?
Sure.
You've got a waiter, a tunic. It's a good thing you've got no... Everything as... Do you know what you're due for an inexperienced group?
Well, I'll happily...
I should say... Now listen. In short, but when one of the gentlemen... You'll find the pictures on a table. White Tokai or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly, we can't allow...
All right.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look.
To stay in the...
Correct. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible.
Oh?
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants. Understood?
Absolutely.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, but you'll manage...
I know everything I need.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve.
The reserves are in urgent need of
There are the
weapons.
pictures of wine.
Unversüglich. Our
Hopefully I won't
current
splash
Waffen
anyone's
arsenal
shoes.
is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
I apologize, sir.
What are you getting at?
Which wine?
Tokai.
I'm saying that the bandits who
deaf?
freed Henning, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich?
Are you deaf
All
or
I'm
something?
saying is that
Why?
they had them.
Why,
Herr
sir?
God. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better
Thank you,
weapons
waiter.
than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
Hey, waiter! Pour me some monastery wine.
The merciful
I'd like
King
to
Zeus
oblige,
was
but
providing us
I'm
with
not allowed.
protection.
This is unbelievable.
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver
cup
heap in
and
the
a full
kingdom,
cup.
and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar
Hey,
with the
where's my
Yemeni
wife?
state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well.
Well,
maybe if
thank
he
the
waived
Lord.
some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not
I
what it
apologize.
should be.
I'd like some monastery
Current
wine.
baths in the city
Refill my
fall
cup, boy.
not a good
short
idea,
of
sir.
covering all
This
the
is
citizens'
unbelievable.
needs.
You're right. We do have the new baths in Hopring, and Adam's old ones.
More wine,
But I hear
Master
the
Bailiff?
Hopring
I
baths
have
are more of a
enough wine.
pigsty.
Come
They
closer.
still are a bit, but the quality went downhill at
I need something. There is an item in my study. She thought she could wriggle out
And
a silver goblet. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, go and get it. And don't you make
where can I find...
use your and come.
You mean?
The tax brings in some money for the town, yes. But it's still just a tax.
And what else would you want?
If the town itself took charge of the baths, the profits would be much bigger. And all the
nice.
other baths would chip in with
Whose
their
silver
taxes
might this
too.
be?
What? More baths? Surely not.
The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going
What are
to the
you
bath
waiting?
is
So?
your right.
I did.
Not so long. And now go.
A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important. But we don't have money to spend. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no
pour me
damage.
red wine.
Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me?
I apologise, sir.
I'm
Which
not
one?
sure what to
Monastery
reply.
red.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that.
Good, sir.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out
Well,
and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there?
Boy,
Leave nothing out.
I'd like some
I
white.
don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it
I
really
apologise,
was
sir.
nothing.
Everyone
one?
in the city
Cockeye.
gossiped about it.
White.
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
A cup of bread.
Why do I have the feeling
don't
you're
you
not telling
skimp
us
on
the
me.
whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what
Monastery
really...
wine. Here.
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth
Well,
to the
thank
rumors
the-
circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
Be specific, Forsaker.
Hey, boy! A full cup of monastery wine!
Ah, and look who spoke first.
First of all, it wasn't a duel. It was supposed to be an honorable combat. And I didn't even take part in it.
And that's the only
hang around
reason
me.
you're still
Vanish,
here on the
you hear me?
council and not in the pillory.
As you
If
wish.
you want to blame somebody, you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me.
Never mind.
I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now run by the German
Come here for a
Menhar.
moment.
Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be
Refill, sir.
ridiculous,
Do you think I come to the
Forsaker.
council just to guzzle
You act
wine?
like you've
Come
never
here.
been in a fight yourself.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I can't just get...
All right.
I knew it. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural. Because I'm bored.
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll
That was
soon
easy
be
enough.
the
And he wanted me to
laughingstock of
count the
whole
winged
town.
figures.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
To hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our
The
time?
chapel is right outside the door. So,
I found you.
really? And did you...
I counted.
And did you count all...
Oh.
Go back...
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock
You
a
there,
oil mining
lad.
city. Why
A
can't we
cup
build
of bread.
faster?
And don't
Hire more
you
craftsmen,
skimp
start
on
with
me.
night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides,
You,
I
lad!
get the feeling there's
You look
something
familiar
other than the
to
welfare
me.
of the city
Have we
behind your
met?
complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you?
I really couldn't say.
And
Sorry.
what would that be?
Like,
I have a
for
feeling
instance,
I've
that
spoken
you'd
to
like
you
to
before,
have your
too.
own altar there?
Or with
So what
someone
if I
who looks
would?
a hell of
Hold
a
your
lot
horses,
like...
gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, mein Freund, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown!
Well, I hope
Waiter,
you're not supplying
pour me
equipment
red
to the
wine.
army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What
Sorry.
ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course.
It's you?
People from the whole town go
I
to
see
watch
you've
them
come
brawl.
up in the world. From a bathhouse boy to a waiter.
Because
You'll go a long way.
sorted out.
I might make councillor one day.
The guards raided and threw them
You're
all
a
out.
merry soul,
Ah,
lad.
yes, I had
like that.
forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Tüçek Össe, Elegium Katonaikat, İşkelkinek Udra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this man of fights!
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of... And you saved my neck and Henry's too.
None of that matters.
Who knows?
You know what? Do you know any of the guests?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming.
Wait a moment. Rabbi used...
Yeah. He came with a retinue. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual...
I wouldn't be too... Who's that friend?
The great Baron Brabant. He's got more fairy tales than...
Can he be
he's a... Besides, he defended Kuttenberg. If he were on Sigismund's side...
How does it feel?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone looks you up.
And
no fear of that in my... Wine,
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches,
and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And dumber.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians represented. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you.
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell, and we are both a little on. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical, and this is Samuel.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie?
Because and why?
Are you here to arrange?
We have more serious. The situation. You have men and weapons.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer?
Everything in...
Did you come to lend money?
Not to lend, but to give.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit...
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait. A blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for...
Why?
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other... At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzig Kobyla, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more.
Excuse me. I'd better not drink.
Better communion wine.
Everything...
I can't wait for it to...
Would you tell me something?
What can I... It was never exactly glorious.
Surely...
There are many fools who... In times of uncertainty...
I reckon you'd have to be...
Or pretty pissed. We will leave us anyway.
It's not that I didn't want it, but understand my absence.
Good health to you.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant. I am a warrior.
My word.
Mais non.
It's a pleasure to make... How did you end...
Ah, c'est une... And only lost...
That needs some...
Oh, mis...
So?
When they broke through the defense.
Oh?
My neck was not at risk in Maleshov, but they never...
You say...
Jamais, I think...
Where...
But if you are, and if you... And you... Which one?
How come...
I am operate. My great benefit is my there. Everyone knows my name.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected.
And to yours.
I would have expected a bit more He made an amateur's mistake. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my... From what I've heard about you...
Is that so?
Indeed.
It depends.
A little... I expect we can agree that Yob...
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment...
Well... I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund... But we'll be waiting in the military camp of our...
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack in the camp...
Ah, but if Sigismund's army is demoralized, he's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves.
But he can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's... For the plan to work, we need allies. Their money and their determination. We just need negotiation.
Are you saying you set everything in motion?
More like in parallel. But if we find support and make it look like the whole...
You've got an interest...
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
Why are you doing...
Because I want to put a stop to the and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Botcha, if you can get those. Meanwhile...
What if it...
I refuse to even consider that outcome.
Why me?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how... You and your friend Henry are similar. There aren't many...
Tell me a bit more about this.
Certainly.
Botchek of Kunt.
That's just the thing. He doesn't play the big... He always goes for the sure thing.
Alder the Alderman.
He still is. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund. But he'll continue to have a...
Anna of Waldstein.
Wenzel Bartosz.
I was quite surprised to see her.
A male affair? Anna is holding back, but don't trust appearances.
And what use can she be to us?
She's as sharp as they... There are wicked tongues, and that it...
I'll get on.
I wish us...
What a load of shit.
Success. God be with you. There's some...
God be with you.
Your
No beating around the bush.
Margrave Yob's plan has some...
To muster...
Christ.
I should say so. All sorts of people. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure...
How do you know Liechtenstein?
I know most of the people, but they wouldn't dream. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein...
I'd say you have a better nose for people than...
Not only for people, but also for...
Who did you learn from?
I acquired the base and the rest. So...
Nothing more than support.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty.
It's not only your mom. You're well able to negotiate.
Then if you want me to support you...
Do you have something in...
Well...
who's the...
Harmon Now. If you were to...
And these pay...
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between my...
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time.
And the papers...
Just insignificant documents. If they incriminate...
Have you fallen out?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. They're disappointed that I dared out, and the fact that I'm handling his...
All right, I'll help.
Alder will surely have the papers in. Bring them to me. But watch yourself.
What do you want?
Oh,
I've got those papers.
Quiet!
Lady, here they are. You're welcome.
As agreed.
Thank you.
Yes, quite.
How could I...
And to the...
I'd like to check your horses out.
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your...
Well.
We haven't... I wanted...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave.
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with...
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you...
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric. Only it wasn't long before they kicked... And then, I find out he's settled in some backwater, but he took his boozing and whoring along with them. Lost everything, and then...
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly... But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
See you stay pulieres non fam nocet.
Mercy! Leave me be! My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Mind where you're going.
Good day. God be with you.
They're without honor.
We're trying to forge an alliance against our common enemy.
They're trying to do one thing and one thing only. Line...
You seem a bit...
Oh, these grand aristocraticus. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have...
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail?
Well,
the only approach that'll work with...
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free.
That's one thing you can always...
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave...
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear...
Well, that's to be expected.
Well,
Sigismund confiscated his castle, not to mention that his...
Sir Bocek,
A man hardly puts his... Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a...
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to...
Does that improvement include a few thousand men at arms?
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well,
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look at. I can't risk it all in a...
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off...
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable...
Perhaps someone of suitable standing.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster.
Maybe you're right.
No, man, but it's especially true. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation. Maybe it's not...
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees...
I don't care what the... If he agrees, I'll be happy.
Pushing a...
The kingdom will not forget his...
Godwin, we didn't have much time
With pleasure, sir. What do you expect?
Well, but all going well, as long as we proceed.
I couldn't help but notice your son has... a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing... Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd been.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal... Where did you leave Sir Divish?
Haven't you heard? No one even imagined Divish... Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle.
You too.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy...
You do?
Young Lord Capon is... going to get married!
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Bochek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Bochek of Kunstadt? The Bochek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a word. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you! And to your parley!
Right, as a lad.
Sir Bochek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain.
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the...
Here's to...
I'm still hoping it works out, and we walk out of here with a clear plan.
Gentlemen.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bochek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, Up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants!
I apologize, sire.
All I hear from you over and over. I therefore place the City Council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks, but instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, and I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has been, and we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place.
I'm sorry.
Mind your own business.
And the same is true.
Hey, waiter. Keep your distance.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslaus' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire. As soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of it.
White it is. Quickly! If Raposh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Look, the Margrave Jobst. Didn't he say that Lord Kunstadt was going with them? No.
Tempora mutantur et nos mutamur
I
inis.
swear to God, I saw him here a little while ago.
Carrying that roast pig.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint. So
Touching.
come.
I never had one.
Truly.
Oh, maybe once. The older I get, the worse.
See now. Only there's no fuck.
I've got a tongue like a
Well,
his lordship is so on stitch.
to hell with that king. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pitchers brought and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pitchers for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage.
You can bet on it.
I don't.
I'd rather we didn't end up like that.
How'd you like her wine?
The art of winemaking has a... Recipes are passed. I myself was even the French. The king himself...
I expect his lordship...
Best, this wine would perhaps be suited...
Is that the girls? Or the piglet?
I wouldn't despair. Let's drink and be merry.
Strong words. I thought your Alishka was brown-haired, though.
Calling it pegging to be eaten.
We're all needed in the morning. Jesus wept.
Everyone's being too hopeful.
You're talking bollocks.
And a tail. And I say, it's a horse. But if you've got a different idea about a horse is...
Greetings, friend. May I interrupt you already?
What's the matter?
Nah. I didn't. What are you?
Haven't you?
Not at all.
No need.
Stop, boss. You. May I interrupt you already?
What's the matter?
One of the most is all over them. I meant the
No way.
Oh, come on. If I go and...
All right.
Now off you...
My boots of fellows is no pony.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Roothard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! The surrounding crystal! He can't make it on his own!
No chance. We'll kick your asses. Are you waiting for orders from your wife? Fight! Step back! Stand your ground! Made of. That hit. Come on, man. That one hit the mark. Nice hit. No chance.
Poor son.
Right, get him. There. Smash his face in. You're alive. Bleeding like a stuck pig.
That won't work on me.
Bleeding like a stuck pig.
Don't kill him.
Don't kill him.
Go! Go!
Whoa.
Quick! Quick!
Whoa.
Victory or death! No mercy!
That won't work on me.
Don't here, horse. That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
And what am I supposed to do?
You've done enough.
And I'm sure Liechtenstein can't wait to find out what was...
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jew. That is, he ordered it.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall.
They're our allies.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi.
Anyway, we've got work.
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I'll be with Christopher.
So, you almost took Hinnek of Kunstadt.
Damn. That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
They didn't even spare the animals.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
They didn't even spare the animals.
My tempest lost his life too. They put enough arrows to knock down 3 like him.
What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll be back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
Poor animal. Handsome, young, sturdy.
Well, at least it was over. So, you almost took Hinnek of Kunstadt.
That dry devil. The horse fell on me.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much...
They could well, if it hadn't been for you, Henry.
Even a man like you can't know everything. At least you're all alive.
Well, not all of... They killed Lady Anna of Volstein, and many other nobles.
And they captured our closest, and without them, we can hardly get the bird.
We'll figure out a...
But how?
Get a grip.
You're right. Nevertheless...
Actually, it might. At Sigismund's council...
Gods, we need to get back to the...
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready.
What do you make of this Brab?
He's unquestionably... He rambles on a lot. Although it was... Otherwise, he seems to... If a little...
I honestly... He's as full of tales as an...
no. As for his constant... And ideally... On the other hand, instead, give him a chance to...
Oh, but... What happened when von Berg...
It was a dread... It was a bit better in Malashov.
Did anything happen?
No. But it took 8... I was traveling with von Owlet's minions. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a real...
What did they do with...
Nothing much. They took care of my wounds, but they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Only I almost went mad.
What was the problem?
That I couldn't get out of... I was... It's just that since Nabokov... Actually, I never did. I always preferred... I had a feeling the roof would...
I understand.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, and above all...
Great.
You can be the cast... I'll even have a forge built, so you've...
They didn't let you out?
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. But most of the time, like I say...
What did von Berg...
Just the usual courtesies. But they behaved fairly about Radzig and Hanush, and especially Jobst.
And what did he tell...
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit. And then he tried to lose...
My word. But the main thing is...
Indeed.
Such slaughter. Jesus Christ.
What will happen to his lordship now? And to us?
We have to take care of young Sir Christopher, and hope his father comes back soon.
Yes. The best thing we can do.
The bodies outside are still warm. And you're thinking about food.
So what? Fighting makes a man hungry. I'm sure the people in the hall could use a hot meal.
What good Samaritan.
I'd like to...
Are you mad?
I'd like to learn...
Not now. Do I look drop by?
You need. But I still exist.
Young Sir Christopher came out of it badly.
But he'll live, right?
He should. He was covered in blood, but most of it Peter of Peace is our ally.
He'll surely let you stay there, at least until you get back on your feet.
Should. He was covered in blood, but most of it probably wasn't his. Thank God. Otherwise, Rabosh would be left without...
Sam, I need...
Just tell him.
I talked to Godwin.
What did you talk about?
We talked about your stepfather.
Why?
It's true. I did not. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes. His son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps, you know, all my life, now that I know I will never see him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right... This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of...
The king has approved that...
He's no king to me.
What's a Gezera?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and all that with the...
This is what we were afraid. We need to... Will you come?
I'll come.
Very well.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already?
Easy, Ingele.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm not.
All right then.
Peresh, can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got ailed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Don't worry. We'll save your mother.
And everyone else too. Don't forget that.
You seem to care an awful lot about these people, sir.
Are you surprised? It's all my fault. If they weren't helping me...
That droid of Sigismund, may his name be erased, would have found some other excuse to get rid of us.
Look, it's not that I don't feel sorry for you, but don't you think maybe we could make the horses go a little faster? At this pace, we won't make it there in a week.
Samuel, how... What was the story with your mother and Martin?
Do you really want to talk about this right now?
It may be the last chance we get. We could both be dead in a while.
All right. But like I said, I never actually knew Martin. He once came to Kuttenberg and fell in love with my mother. But she is the daughter of a rabbi. Obviously, she could not marry a goy.
And tonight, you will see why.
If you want, Mummy will surely tell you more. If we can get there in time. What was he like? I mean, Martin.
He was a good man.
Seriously? Whip those fucking horses!
All right. Schnell! Schnell!
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Shell.
There are many abandoned...
Won't it come?
We'll find out.
Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
I would be happy that...
Killed our savior.
What did you just say?
Nothing. I'm just blabbering.
I dare you to say that again. Loud and clear.
You know what, sir? Just ignore me and be glad I'm here. And you up front, pick it up a little curva. My arse is getting numb. Do you hear anyone?
If they manage to get all the way here, it is all over.
This way, Henry. Hopefully we'll find it quickly. I left a stack of my papers in the tavern. And if they fall into Sigismund's hands, people in other towns will die too.
How can a few pieces of parchment be that important? And what do they contain, anyway?
Nothing very pleasant for the most part. Who hates who? Who could be blackmailed with what? Who's hiding where and why? In short, nothing I can afford to lose. Hopefully everything will be all right at the tavern. My stash is locked away, and Samuel's friends are guarding the place. But who knows what the situation is like in the streets now.
Are you afraid?
Me? Do you have any idea how many times I've had to run from a burning town or deal with a hired assassin?
Yeah. More than once, I reckon.
A lot more, I can tell you. But I admit, I was afraid every single time. Damn it.
What's the matter?
The door leading up to the tavern is open. Samuel's men wouldn't have let...
I think there's some...
Go and check it out. I'll gather up my things in the meantime.
Bugger this, not a damn thing here.
You're no match for us, fucker! Useless!
can't leave now.
Baruch Hashem, Henry.
Sam!
A few of the cutthroats got in, but there are more.
4 of them.
Fortunately, they didn't take anything important.
What?
I'm so sorry. If it's any...
But they didn't look like they just kept... What about your mum?
She is, thank God.
I'm really sorry.
There was nothing Navis Hamartes.
There'll be plenty...
I'm sure Mum is...
You go ahead. I'll lock the tavern and block the secret passage.
But sir,
if I can take care of... God be with you.
Läuft zur Schule.
They climbed over the wall. One of them must have hit me.
Get up. We have to get to the shul fast. Can you walk?
I can't.
Don't worry. I'll help you. Henry, go and get Mommy. She will be in that house on the left. Bring her here.
Oh, Himmel!
Don't worry,
Mein Gott!
Nothing.
Wait!
My name is Henry.
Of course.
I'm his...
Was sagt?
Sam!
Watch out!
What's going on?
Sam!
I'm fine, but we
have to get...
Through the backyard! Watch out! They're shooting at us! From the ramparts! Get rid of them! Baruch Hashem, they're gone. We have to keep going. For the yard!
Help us! Somebody help us! Leave us alone! Somebody help us! Somebody help us!
I'll be done with you in a flash. Oh, don't come.
We cannot get past the wagon. We have to go this way. Through the house.
Nice. Bad luck. Slay those Christ killers.
Keine Gnade! Mommy, are you all right?
But what about you, mein Kind?
I'm still alive. We can talk later. Now, we have to go.
What the hell?
What is it, fuckers? Rather slaughter women and the defenseless?
Let's go! What's going on up there?
Go inside. Quick. To the fucking task.
I've never been so glad to see you two.
In need of a helping hand, are you?
No, I just don't want to die here alone.
There they are!
Well, now we're really fucked.
We mustn't get inside! We have to hold them back!
For how long, though?
As long as we need to!
What's keeping you? There's more of us!
Fight us all!
Greetings to the best is yet to come! Tommy!
Take that fucker out, damn it! I'll be done with you in a
For the cross! Come and get another.
Bad luck. Next one will be in your face. Hey! There's more of
Is that all you got, Bechosot?
Yeah! Don't spare him!
Schlagen in die Fresse ein!
Still standing!
Keine Gnade!
Mine! This one's mine! Bash him on the head!
Yeah! Don't spare him!
Come on! Everyone's inside! Henry, come on!
Let's go.
Gott mohel mir. Let's go. It's this way. Damn. That was a close shave. I reckon I should go to Samuel's mother and talk to her about Martin. I won't get another chance.
Look at it.
All ablaze.
Was ist dein Plan?
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
I know this might not...
Right now? Well, how is my...
Oh,
the hen of Shutsura.
Sigismund burned down my village. Pa went to help Ma and... Well... They both died there.
I am sorry to hear that, lad. But that is the Martin I knew. At least you survived.
I'm sorry I don't have...
Do not worry about it.
Is everything all right?
Yes, do not worry.
How did you meet Martin, if I may ask?
It was such a long... He wanted to open a blacksmith shop in town. But there was no place among your people.
And that's where he met...
The rabbi gathered the good men so they could decide whether we wanted to have a goy blacksmith. Then it went schlag auf schlag.
So what happened?
My father found out we were seeing each other and did his best to drive him away. To marry a goy is... But Martin would not give in, and we kept seeing each other.
That means...
Yes. My father knew that if I did not even have time. I was gone for almost 4 years. In the meantime, my father... And he only let me come back when he was sure people had accepted it.
Did Martin not go looking for...
People said he did go looking for me.
If only he had gone all the way to Prague.
Even if he went to the very edge of the world, it would not have been enough.
And what about you?
No. My father called me a witch.
And he didn't try to...
You know he did.
And did you ever go...
I asked around, but no one remembered any. And I could not just leave and go looking for him around the world.
All right.
Before you go...
Well, he was strict with me, but not too much. Especially in the forge, he worked me hard. I dream about him quite often. About that last day and what he said to me while we were forging a sword together. He said a life of adventure can be over before it begins. And that blacksmithing might be a dull job, but I keep my head on my neck.
He was absolutely...
Well, look at me now.
You saved all our lives. Martin would be proud of you. He raised you well.
I'm sorry to keep you this long, but... well, I never thought I'd have a brother, even if not related by blood.
Well, I did not expect that either. And thank you, my almost brother. If it was not for you, What are your plans?
I'll go back to the Devil's Den. To Zizka and the others.
I will see you there then. But first, I have to escort everyone to Colleen.
Everything should be off.
Take care of yourself, dear brother. I will see you this time tomorrow at the Devil's Den.
Have a safe journey.
Sei gesund.
You managed to get the documents? What's next for you?
I've been thinking about it, and the time for spying is over.
So what then?
Not yet. I feel responsible for what...
I wouldn't have thought of...
I may not have been in this world, but unfortunately... So many people dead. Driven out of their homes and into poverty. All that. Just because they helped me.
There's a war going on.
But that doesn't mean we can't feel...
But we still have a lot of...
A spy master is of no use without...
Well, that doesn't matter.
No, Henry...
All right. Have it your way.
And with you, Henry of Skalitz. Take care.
Many have died, indeed. You are right. How happy I would be if we could get...
What will you do now?
Now we must find help in some...
Do you think you'll be...
Well, the mercenary... We will split up. Besides, who would chase us when we have nothing?
So the agreement with the lords in Rabors...
What makes...
I do. But you've lost...
It is true that the Gutenberg Gehele cannot... Especially...
Sarah told me you...
I had my...
But if you hadn't done it...
Perhaps. But what...
No. Probably not. Who knows what my mother would have done without him. God be with you, Rabbi.
Zeig is...
place.
What will happen to us now? Look at it, all ablaze. Return, O Lord, how long shall our love wrath?
Thank you, boy.
Hey, unless you want to end up the same way, keep going. You get.
Guards!
You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit! Ugh!
What's new? Well, if there was... Show me... I'd like to discuss... Well, that's... Hi. Thank you, and... Take care. Servacular. Yes. Where is the... That is one... Oh... Arrest? And so get out of paradise. I should... That was... Hello. My... And that no doubt.
A bold...
Quite right. Just as much... So, you disobeyed... Your attack could have... In short... What did you... He made me an... I reckon he wanted... Do not talk no sense. What other... Oh, me... It was... On the itzer... But... Man... And absurd... As I think... But what I say... That... But... I want... But as I stick close to me... Henri... With... I came to because... But the FBI... How can... Ha! And look... Was in return... In photo... Well... Tell me... I... You... Of course... My birth... That all off... But my... I... See... A risk...
Store. You should have.
You are, but that I've just remember.
What was the?
We were. They had. I said when I. White were a miss, but the.
Tell me.
Quite then on the above, but like.
How did
living? I traveled when I.
So yes.
I bought and for it, but for Victor's trip.
Servax.
Where do you? Perhaps I can. I now.
Luck.
En aucun. Best too chic fur le gris events, and if you. Bien, bless. So that is how. You. It was half of I could.
Thanks for. What do you?
Well, but a man.
What do you think?
The Chevalier Jan. That take.
What do you? You think so?
Mayans.
How do you?
Oh, but he.
How do you?
Oh, needless. Godwin.
Have you met?
In addition, Hick and Indrick.
Have you had the? What do you?
A good one. And that.
I'm sure you.
But for my.
Oh,
I am a.
Tell me.
After I found.
Only.
Précis.
What other?
In a mint. It will a so.
Good day to you.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it you want?
You must be it.
Yes.
I've got a message from Master...
What does he want?
I don't know. Henry, you have no idea how glad I am. I was really worried about you. It's good she heard my plea.
Thanks for putting lots of violence and death.
God damn!
It didn't look so bad at the start, but some of Eric's cutthroats got inside the tavern and before we'd finished with them, a great mob gathered outside.
Oh, fuck! God damn it!
I'm always glad to fight by your side. But you wouldn't have changed anything. All we could do was try to hold back Eric's people. See, there's a hidden tunnel.
Fucking tunnels? What about Liechtenstein?
He's fine.
Praise God. He's from an old... The main thing is you got out. That's exactly... First and foremost, be it known that if you should ever... And secondly, a hunting bow that has no equal in it can fell the mightiest buck.
I'm honoured. Just a moment. I believe I saw it among my...
Good heavens. When I found out that Jobs would gladly leave so to pay him back, and it was immediately clear to me...
That is certain.
It'd be great to try wine, bacon...
We only went hunting...
Yeah, but it was... Don't tell me you were... But first duty...
I heard you fought in the battle.
Why would...
I heard it was a horror...
Horse shit, lad. That's just horse.
So how did it happen? How many soldiers?
Countless, lad. At least 10,000 men on our side.
And where did you...
In the saddle. I'm a nobleman, after all. Most of us mercenaries were on the left flank, under the command of Vladko Vuk. I mean, if it wasn't for Nicholas Gabriel...
And who was that?
The commander of our company. A born warrior, and a good friend. In fact, Zizka reminds me of him. In any case, the fact that Gabriel had taken a command at the...
So how did the battle...
Lord forgive me. Specific? Well...
Which was?
Oh, it's hard to discuss.
So what happened?
When the battle began, soon we got the Sultan's Janissaries attack.
How could you
You can't give up. And death isn't a... But he was a tough old warrior of the... With an arrow in his eye. He climbed his horse and rode straight for the... The battle then lasted...
So who...
The battle lasted... Only later did we find out. Prince Lazar had fallen. Still later came the news that Lazar had been captured.
They executed...
Aye. They beheaded him.
So
It's hard to say. Only without their prince. It was just a matter of time. All the same. I suppose time heals all kinds of shit. In the end, you forget the bad things. And yet, I can only thank God that...
Your captain?
Aye, him. We actually became friends.
He did?
Aye, a memory of the good man who...
Would you show me the swords?
Why not? Oh, at any rate, when you knock it aside, now come.
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt? Enough onions for the soup?
No, sorry.
Where'd you learn?
Well, it's the result of you. If they have, but I have. And then.
I bring bad news from Fortunately, we say...
Fuck.
Oh, Samuel and the...
Shit. We have to find Dry Devil and Capon.
Well, Samuel said he wants to be a...
I see. Oh well.
All right.
You want practice? In what?
I'll have a go.
I'll give you a cudgel. What do you want?
You take...
Got it.
Sure.
Can I start fighting at You shot yourself! I can smell it from here! You're gonna eat dirt! Come on! Too slow! You're finished, wanker! Fuck you! Oh, get the pieces, fucker! You won't get me! Good luck!
smell it from here! How do you like that?
Stop! What?
I'll come back.